What's going on? We are all getting ready out here for the sixth episode of Oak City Late Night, and we're celebrating getting after Oak City Shred Fest, getting ready for Float Life Fest 7, and we have some other cool things that we're going to be happening here in the next few months. So it's gonna be exciting. So stay tuned. We have a lot of things going on tonight. Yo, everybody, what's going on? In typical Oak City fashion, we are trying to figure this stuff out. The Facebook and YouTube had updates on the streaming software, so we are trying to get all of this stuff. We should be also streaming on Facebook, but we're not streaming on Facebook. We're also just only streaming on YouTube currently, so we're trying to figure that out. Again, stay tuned, and we are working on that to get that going, and then we're gonna get this show on the road. John Brown just walked in, and he's the expert here on this whole streaming software, since this is his software. There we go. Now we are live. Now also on Facebook and YouTube. What's going on? This is Oak City Late Night, and if you follow Oak City at all, you know that 13 minutes late is nothing on us. This is early. We're excited. We've got a lot of things going on tonight. We've got some exciting things going on. There's John Brown getting all excited. We got Mikey D right there. We got Dave Lamascus. Oh my gosh, look at there's Terminator right there. He got here right away and jumped right on into work on his board. So it is an exciting night here. People are showing up. It's a little bit of a rainy night here in Raleigh, so I know that traffic and everything that. So we'll see more people kind of trickling in here as the night goes on. Well, this is an exciting day here. We're excited. We're going to talk about Oak City Shred Fest 4, as well as Float Life Fest 7, as well as we've got an event coming up here in the next week. And that is going to be the second Holly Springs Salamanders event. And that's going to be where we go to the Salamanders. And it's a baseball team here, a local baseball team that we actually get to take over this whole little concrete pad area right there on the basically right above the whole stadium seating area. And we were doing one-wheel demos, UC demos, and we are teaching the local community how to ride these fun devices, and then actually engaging with the community. And it's been a fun way to gain new members, as well as teach people how just less intimidating these devices are. So it's been really fun to go to these events, and we're really excited to do that with the Holly Springs Salamanders. So that's coming up very shortly on, I think it's the 27th. Well, let me check on that. Yeah, it's the 27th, so it's going to be this July 27th is going to be Saturday, and then again, that starts at 5 o'clock for us, and that is going to be Olympic night over at the Holly Springs Salamanders game, and then you can find that on our Facebook page and the event right there, and you can learn about where to get your tickets. And those tickets, they not only are really cool because you get your own little seat if you want to use that, but you also get hot dogs, hamburgers, drinks, all that stuff, all for free with that. So it's really fun. It's a great event. I really recommend anybody in the local area to come out that. If you're not in the local area, get a hotel. Come on out. It's a lot of fun. You get to engage with the community and a lot of different people that you would never have thought about possible, that you would have ever been sitting there now demoing a one-wheel for. So it's pretty cool. We've gained a lot of our connections through doing these things. So it's really exciting. And then speaking of that, doing that, the whole one-wheel demos, they all started with when we did Falling for Local over here in Raleigh. And that really tipped us on having fun doing these one-wheel demos. And we are now coming back for 2024. That event just dropped on our page. And now you can go see that at, we're going to be Falling for Local. That'll be October 5th. October 5th, we will be Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. Again, I got to make sure. I just did this morning. And then Falling for Local, again, will be, Saturday, October 5th, and it's going to end from 11 to 6 on Saturday, and that'll be a fun day. We're going to do, again, demos all day. Last year, we did between 600 and 1,200 one-wheel demos, and the only reason we have that huge gap is because we had 600 people sign the waivers, but, many of them were families, so many of them were, 4 people. Some of them could have been 2 people. Some of them could have been 8 people, people that sign those waivers and they come in groups. So now with the digital waiver, we'll have a little bit more knowledge of how many people are in each group. So it'll be fun to count that now here going into 2024. But we're excited. This live stream will be kicking off a little here more. We got Grizz now in the house. Again, like I said, more people are starting to show up. John Brown will come up here in a second here, and we'll really kick the show off. We got Eli in the house. And we have a lot of other fun little squirrels that are here, so it'll be a good time. So again, stick around. there are way too many buttons up here. I wish somebody could see how many buttons are up here, and it really is. As much as I've been doing this now, this is our first time back after Oak City Shred Fest. So it's been a while, and it would be like returning to work after a long time. And I really am not an expert at all of these things that are going on here. There's just so much. There's multiple screens. There are multiple little like levers and buttons and all these things. And I don't know if you all know me. Do not. This is outside of what I do. So, anyways, again, I'm so sorry. I keep hitting these buttons, but I think this has been switched because you used to be able to I could select through and I could kind of preset what I was going to see, and this now time I cannot do that. So again, I apologize. I'm trying to get us back to what we're doing. You can see the love right here that Grizz has for everybody, as well as we all have for him. You can see just the community that we have here in Oak City, and we're very excited to have everybody here with us that are watching this. And again, I'm really I think this is going to be a good stream tonight, so I'm excited to have y'all here.
Hello, hello.
Again, everybody, if you thought for half a second that Oak City was not going to have some kind of technical difficulties, you were joking yourself because that's what we do here. We seem to always, even as many times as we test these things out, we always seem to mess it up. So that's just how it is here. You can see there's been also some updates here in the John Brown headquarters here. He's got not only a full lift kit, he also has a bunch of those folding little chairs there. So if you want one of those folding chairs, I'm sure that you could comment right now and ask for one. I guarantee he would send you one. There, they're great. They're awesome little little chairs. If you're on a level surface like this garage, they're amazing. But when you take them out the flow track, on an unlevel surface, or you go and you try to have it where it's just a little rock or something underneath them, they do not stay vertical. So you wanna you wanna make sure you're on a level surface. But that's the only little caveat for those. But again, yeah, we're making it happen here. There's so many exciting things. I'm going to take this overlay off for you so you can see what the crew's doing down there, and as more people are showing up. We're really excited, everybody. Again, thanks so much for everybody that made Oak City Shred Fest 4 happen this year. It was really just such an awesome experience that we had. It was so cool. We're just, again, so thrilled. All right, again, we're making sure that we got these mics down up, so we're going to have mics going again for downstairs. And then I think we're going to have John Brown downstairs interviewing because we got some new people that are here. We got
whatever you say, boss. All right.
Yeah. That don't.
Oh, you want a studio mode? Boom. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Now we got
so
studio mode.
This is what you're looking at. That's what everyone's seeing. And then to transition, boom, you click that. And now everyone's going to look at your
there we go.
face.
Now we're back in business. Again, I'm not joking. I will take a photo of this now just before I forget it. Because the amount of buttons.
He's like, what's going on?
The buttons here are just ridiculous. And again, this is probably not going to do justice of how crazy
just took a picture
of
the QWERTY on the keyboard. Okay, so you should be able to hear me. Actually, let me create. Oh, your levels are way low.
That's what Bart Miller said.
Here's our feedback so that we can turn this up or down so I can hear myself. Okay, that's good enough. That's channel 1. That's beautiful. All right. We're a little bit late tonight, guys, so we're just off checking.
Yeah, this is what we're getting. We're saying if you were for half a second thinking that Oak City was going to be at all not a little bit behind, this is what we do around here. And we take things seriously as much as we possibly can.
We don't have
but
game. We just have volume, Patrick. All right,
that's what
what's
we do.
up? We got Flying Patrick coming in on the chat, dude.
What
How are you
is
doing,
going
man? We miss
on?
you.
Yeah, dude, why aren't you here, man?
Who was I just talking to? Was it Alex? It's like, I'm ready to fix his board. He has everything. I just need him to show up with all the goodies. So, what's up, Neil? How are you doing?
What's up, dude?
Hopefully you're having a great night. Okay, so I'm gonna go downstairs and talk with people.
I do. I totally agree.
You want me to take a microphone?
I think you should take both microphones, and then we can head you downstairs, and then you have talk to people downstairs. I think that's going to be where the more the action is. Nobody wants to hear us talk. We can definitely talk about Oak City Shred Fest. We're going to definitely talk about Float Life Fest 7. We're definitely going to talk about the fact that we're going to the Holly Springs Salamanders again in like next weekend. I think it's the 27th. Yeah. And then we also have Falling for Local in October. And then we have the National Disc Golf Championship. And Mikey over there sitting on the couch.
That's gonna be our first interview. We're gonna chat.
Is that what we're going to do? All right. I think we'll talk about that first.
Dude,
all right.
It's great to see. Oh, dude, I'm just glad you're here. Gonna enjoy our Friday night. It's rainy. No one's really out riding, but we're able to hang out here and, have a party, just like Oak City's known for. So, all right, well,
Let's
I'm
go.
Move on downstairs.
All right, I'm gonna throw it down.
The headset's on the left, so you'll be able to hear. And then let's go bombard Mr. Mikey and ask him some questions, huh?
There we go. Perfect. Now now we're back in business again. Everybody, again, thanks so much for the fact that we're doing these things. We want to do these things professionally, but again, at the same time, we're not gonna practice.
Mr. Dominic, the Vandal, I need you. All right, we can come on over here, Mr.
Oh my
Mikey
goodness!
DeDominic.
Hey everybody! Hi John.
So what's up, man? So here
to
we
see ya.
have Mr. Mikey DeDominic. He is the Oak City disc golf representative or liaison.
Liaison.
What is your title?
I don't know, man.
You
It's
don't?
just something I like. It's just something I do.
He's
It's just
all
fun.
about it. Okay.
Yes.
So can you give us a little blurb on what's going on at this disc golf
Yes. So, John, you might need to pull the dates for me if you can, but October 11th through the 13th, 11th through the 14th. John, do you know? USDGC is a major event in the disc golf world, and we've been building some friends over in the disc golf world. Done a couple different events with folks over there. Have even had some disc golf people come to one wheel events, and so through that, we've had the opportunity to share what we love with others, and we're thankful for that opportunity. We get to show people how to ride these awesome machines. I don't know if you can see that awesome machine, but those awesome machines, and it meshes really well. The people that October 10th through the 13th. Thank you, everybody.
Aaron
And so,
with the secretary
thank you,
duties,
Aaron.
love it.
Thank you, Aaron. And so we're going to have a big booth there. We're going to have a bunch of friends come out and teach people how to ride. So disc golfing, out on the courses, riding the one wheels. It's amazing, and we'll be teaching folks to do that. So looking forward to that. Again, if you are one of our friends down in Florida, one of our friends in, let's see, we got folks
Anywhere
from
across the
Tennessee,
world.
all the world, California.
We have everyone wearing Oak City jerseys.
Lots of people interested in coming out to that. So hit us up on Oak City One Wheel. Facebook group,
OakCityShredFest.com, Oak City One Wheel Facebook
There's our little
group.
disc
We
from
also
our
have
event.
commemorative discs from Oak
Yes.
City Shredfest.
Yes, we do.
This one's just black. We have some holographic ones. We have a few left. We sold a whole bunch at the festival,
We
but
did.
we have a few left, and we're going to be kind of selling them at events as we go on.
Yep.
So Falling for Local we have coming up.
Fun gifts, fun giveaways.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I know Supremo's pretty stoked on that.
Woo! A little excited.
But so,
Another opportunity to share what we love.
Yeah,
just like this.
To spread the stoke. Oh
Yeah.
my God! And disc golf is so funny because it's this whole group of people.
Yeah.
That are they're all one wheels. They just don't have a clue yet.
Yeah.
And then they see this thing and they're just you see their eyes get wide and they're like, oh my God,
Yep.
this would make my life so much better.
Oh, it's great. One of my favorite things in the world is throwing some discs and riding my one wheel out on the beautiful greenways.
Which we did. We actually snuck away on the way to Float Life Fest last year.
Yep.
What was that course?
That was North Cove. North Cove.
So
disc
that's
golf.
a big deal in the
Big
disc golf
deal.
world.
Yep. They loved us there. They're happy to have us back. So people are interested in it. They want to see more of it, and so that's an exciting thing.
And disc golf courses make really cool racetracks.
The best.
Once we get a little bit more,
Yes,
traction,
yes.
we're gonna be able to start ripping up some courses. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, the
All right.
the college wants us to, but you didn't hear that from us. You didn't hear that from us.
Cool. All right. So Supremo, you're gonna take it away upstairs while I maybe do some work. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. That's
But,
weird.
Yeah, we'll see in a little bit. All right.
Cheers,
All right,
guys.
brother. Bye. All right, push an old button.
All right, let's go, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. This is pretty fun that we get to do these things like the U.S. National Disc Golf Championship. It was so cool. The other weekend, myself, D-Dom there, and Aaron, we went to Innova, and we got to actually get a private tour of Innova's headquarters where they printed those disc golf discs they were actually showing. And just while we were there, they they pulled our little printout, so we got to actually hold up the stamp that they made for us, and then we got to actually stamp another disc that was being made for another customer, and so it was really cool. So we got to you put your 2 thumbs in, and then this big giant stamp comes down and puts it on the disc golf. It was super cool. It was really a fun event, and again, when I say this, I feel like somebody who is not in the one wheel space talking about the one wheel space. It was the same thing for me. I'm not a disc golfer. I've never disc golfed other than just maybe throwing a disc into a basket. But we see the exact connection. The audience is the same. The psychographics and the demographics are just aligning so perfectly that I think this is going to be so exciting for us and for them as well. That they're so excited for us that they're giving us an entire space. This is a full soccer field with lights and everything. So the soccer field, the perfect part about that is that the grass is maintained enough where it's not like perfectly level, like a golf course or anything. But again, it's just enough level that it's going to be really, really fun for everybody that comes out. And I think we might have some big names that might be there. So you want to stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. I want to make sure that before I say anything, make sure that that's fact before we start dropping that out here on the live. But we got Grizz over there. Let's talk about Grizz. Disc golf that's on our Facebook group. So if you want, that's the second weekend in October. So I think it's the 10th through the 13th. I feel like it's on my, I have it on my, I need to start putting on my little, like a little pinup.
What are you doing over here?
What's going on, buddy?
Are you talking to somebody?
I'm talking to everybody.
Everybody? Who's everybody?
There's probably 10,000 people watching.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
Yeah, 10,000 people. That's what I think.
Dope.
I think it's 10,000 people. That's the last Instagram video that was posted that Term made right over there.
I'm going to get closer just to make sure that, the microphone hears both of us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
get closer.
there you go.
There you go. No, but we were looking at his U.S. Disc Golf Championship, which is you can find at usdgc.com. That's usdgc.com, and then that's it'll bring you right up to the U.S. Disc Golf Championship, which again is at Winthrop College. It's in actually South Carolina, as much as we say that it's in Charlotte.
Yeah,
it's
Charlotte
just
area.
It's the Charlotte area,
It's
but
right outside of Rock Hill, I think.
yeah, exactly. So it's not a bad drive for us. It was 3 hours, I think, dead straight from there in the back. And again, that was USDGC October 10th through the 13th. We almost burned that in our brain. 10 through 13.
10 through 13th. October is going to be crazy.
October is going to be insane. Oak City, we are going to be worn out because I think you and I, we're going to be basically going from USDGC directly straight north.
Yeah, to
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
No stops, no breaks. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200 unless you want to donate $200. We'll talk about that later.
You should donate.
We should totally
Buy some
donate.
acorns.
Buy acorns.
Yeah.
OakCityOneWheel.com/donations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then help us get some acorns so that we can be doing this stuff. But yeah, this is going to be exciting again. USDGC.com, United States Disc Golf Championship again. That is run by Innova, who just really does a great job with the disc golf. It was really fun. It was so much fun to go and do. I wish you would have been there, but it was a great time. We went. It was so fun. They just gave us a really cool tour. We got to see a lot of things that it would be the equivalent of going to Float Life. You know what I mean? So if we went to the Float Life as then and getting a private tour at Float Life from like Jeff, it'd be the same equivalent. See for that, and that was really cool that we were able to experience that. And I know for the guys like Aaron and Mike who are very excited about the disc golf world, they felt the weight of how cool that was. And for me, I'm just in the background being like, oh, this is cool. I get it. But yeah, I just some
I'm
of
not
the
a
things.
disc golf person,
Yeah, it's cool.
Is there another mic?
They are both downstairs. You got to go, John Brown.
You
can get
invited me on the show.
I know, right? Well, John Brown was supposed to come up here in a second to bring the mics, but then he just stayed, or he went to his house.
Brown will be up here.
I think he's actually doing bedtime, so he may actually. If we put the mics back on for him, we might. Oh no, he's right there. He's right there by this new, brand new lift. But it's again, everybody, it's exciting that what we're doing here at Oak City. There's some really cool things that we're doing. Again, beyond just the U.S. Disc Golf Championship. Again, people have been bringing it up kind of like in passing, but it's Falling for Local. Falling for Local is such a cool event that we do here at Dix Park. And apparently, Dix Park, Joe Brandon, right over here. You know this. You're a local right there at Dix Park. Dix Park is apparently one of the largest central parks in the world.
It is. I don't know the details.
Yeah.
But I know that it's over 300 acres.
Over 300 acres.
And yeah, it is. Like you said,
it's one of the largest in the world. Like, and again, it's just so or the U.S. It's just crazy.
That it's so close to the downtown of the
Right.
city, and for the size, it's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so perfect. And I think that's what's cool about Dix Park is they have this huge grass field, and in that grass field, what they do is, and then we just posted it actually on Oak City One Wheel's Facebook group. But it's a whole map that they have out where it's going to be all these food trucks that just completely line the entire field, which is again
field,
hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
And then inside of the field, they have vendors. They've got beer breweries that are out there setting up the taps and all that stuff. And they had like all the way from like what we had right next to us was they were dog physical therapists.
Yep.
So they had a whole like trailer that they would bring to assist dogs that were having problems with like muscular issues.
Yeah, and they'll have like a little petting zoo. They have a little petting zoo. They'll have the inflatables for all the
Right.
kids. They'll have live entertainment.
Yeah.
And this is for Falling for Local, but
Yeah.
even for this past 4th of July, the field was opened, and they had all these events there. They had more food trucks than I've ever seen there
Wow.
before. And it was more packed. I've been going for the last 4 or 5 years while they've been doing the fireworks there, and it was more people than I've ever seen.
Yeah, so
It's
Falling for Local should
it's
be
such
insane.
a great place to be.
Yeah.
Falling for Local. Now that it's trending over these
Yeah.
last few years, there should be a ton of people.
It's gonna be
coming out.
insane. I mean, again, we joke about between 600 and 1,200 people that we demoed One Wheels between, and the only reason we get that number is because we had 600 people that signed the waivers. So we had 600 signs on the waivers, but then there'd be families that were from they were either 2 people, or they could be 6 people, or they could have been a whole whatever, right? I mean, our line was we talked about that there was all these bounce houses.
The line,
Yeah.
we had one of the longest lines of all the events because
Right.
people just wanted to see what this amazing
Yeah,
thing was.
it was so cool.
Yeah.
And then the bounce houses you're talking about, the bounce houses you could get right on,
Yeah.
but you could not get it right on
You
One
can-
Wheel.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
a line.
Well, because we were giving personal instructions
Yeah.
on how to ride the one wheel to everybody coming out, and for all ages. But the thing that was great about it was seeing the people who hopped on it and were a little nervous, and then once they got it, just the change in their whole physical demeanor and how they relaxed and just rode around, and some of the people just didn't want to go. I go, maybe we should give someone else a turn. No, I'm having too much fun. So,
Yeah.
so you just get addicted that quick.
Yeah.
That's what's so wonderful.
It is
about
cool. And again, we have some really fun ways, again, because of our shout out to Dave Wolf, who's probably just watching tonight. We have a really cool setup where we might be able to get some AR goggles.
Oh my.
And we were talking about like, what can we do with these? Like he hit me, I was like, what can we do with these? And I was like, oh, I don't know, nothing. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I totally could do it. We could do like a little demo and teach everybody so that they put the AR goggles on, they learn in line, and then now they've already
Oh
learned
my. Yeah.
how to ride it. So we don't have to go there and sit there and teach them like the sensors and how the whole sensors work and,
So
and
have like a
everything.
little virtual
A
demonstration,
virtual demonstration
while they're waiting
waiting in line. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would just put on basically these equivalent of these, right?
Okay.
Equivalent of something like this, which is
Yeah.
This would be it would be the pro like version of this, and then they'd put them on, and then they'd watch a little tutorial,
Oh, that's fantastic.
and then we would be able to move people through that way. And I think
I
that
like
we'd be able to move.
Whoops.
I didn't break. You didn't see that. So.
John, we can see where John is right
This is
now.
like the
He
5th time I've done that here, so we'll count eventually we'll count those. So it was yeah, we had again 600 to 1,200 people. There's so many people. The line was crazy. So this year we're trying to figure out how that's why we go to these things about what can we do from AR to we went to a digital waiver. We did all these things that we're now trying to like speed these things up, which is going to also happen at U.S. Disc Golf Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's the
it's
whole
gonna be
idea there
amazing.
too. Is it's going to be taking that same kind of premise that we're doing there and bringing it to USDGC. So it's gonna be really fun.
Now that's in Charlotte. I know you've been promoting it.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Are we collaborating with the Charlotte crew to bring some of their boards out so
Yeah.
we get even more people? Because it's going to be tens of thousands of people.
Yeah,
out
it's going to
there,
be tens of. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to also have a sign up. So thanks. Good job, Joe. It was great. It was fantastic. So we're also going to do that. We can isolate this clip. So we're gonna shout out to the Charlotte crew again. If you're anybody in that general area, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, anything in the whole area, if you want to come out to the U.S. Disc Golf Championship and you want to help out, we're gonna actually have a sign up, and so you're gonna sign up and you're gonna sign up for the times, and then you can just sign up for like an hour or 2 hours, whatever, to do these demos. And then the best part about that too is that then there's gonna be still groups that then you can go on group rides, and they've really welcomed us to be able to ride anywhere within the part of the event. And then once the event, the actual like gameplay is over, we can ride through the whole course.
Oh wow! That'll be great.
So they're very excited about that. So they're very welcome to whatever we want to do, and I think it's gonna be really cool. I think that I'm kind of like this whole point of like where we like with Shredfest and a lot of these things we do. How much do we tell everybody of like the cool things that are available or that may happen? Because then you're like, do we tell them like what may happen? And then if it doesn't happen, now I feel like I'm the guy who brought it up, right? Or do you just go, oh, just stay tuned?
So
This should be really cool stuff.
so the disc golf, I think, with the one wheel is using a one wheel to ride and play disc golf is fantastic.
Right.
And so I was talking this up to. I was on a business trip. I was talking with my rep up in Boston, big regular golfer.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I want to buy one. I want to take that out. I hate taking the golf cart.
Right.
He goes, I'm paying
Especially with those little
$60 a week to take the golf cart, and I'd rather just hop on this thing and go.
And then now with those little like the caddies, in my neighborhood, the golfers, I see them all the time. They have the little caddies that they just put a little remote in their pocket, and the caddy follows them.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got to tell him about that.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
he's
now,
like, how do I take my bag?
Right. So that's what you do. Just have that and double it up. Oh my gosh! Like you're done. Game set match.
All right.
Good same thing. It's not gonna go. That doesn't go that fast. Yeah.
Well, he was like, I have the old push one that I can just
Yeah,
pull.
you can just pull it. Oh, yeah.
Or I have just a little backpack one. I
Yeah.
just throw on my back. So
Yeah.
he seemed so
So
excited.
stoked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I have converted quite a few people in my neighborhood.
Okay.
It was actually a few EUCers that are just ripping it through my neighborhood, which is so fun, which is really fun to see. Then a bunch of now e-bikes and stuff, but it's cool. I think that again, I keep telling everybody that it's you find your personal mobility device for you.
Yeah.
And again, Joe, you went from one wheel. You still ride a one wheel sometimes,
I still ride my one wheel.
but you predominantly now ride a UC, and
I do.
and it is, and a lot of people, I think that it's just again, it's personal preference. I think it's cool.
It is, but I mean, there are some people who did one wheels and now exclusively do EUCs, but I still do both. It's a different game, and you don't just play one sport; you play multiple sports, and I love riding both.
Yeah.
And I get him in.
I'm excited. But so again, let's just kind of wrap this up. But we have this little like segment that we had with Falling for Local. Falling for Local is going to be really fun. Again, that is October 5th. We're going to be doing demos. It's going to be fun. We have a stage when we're like right in front of stage 1. So we're right in front of the main stage, right?
We're going to have a bigger area this year?
Well, we're in the same spot that we were in last year, but we're just going to take up more space. We just didn't. We didn't know. We had no idea. We thought we were being conservative last year, and now we can be a little. Yeah. So we're going to be able to take more space up, but we're right there in front of stage 1. It'll be really fun. I'm excited, and Joe really does a big job to help out with that. So thanks so much for that.
Okay.
And then, do you have anything else you were going to talk about? I think you were talking about.
We have a Jeremy who, if you have an opportunity to
Of
come
course.
and interview him, I
That'd be
think
great.
he
Awesome.
might be a good guy to talk to because he told me a little about his one-wheel experience. And,
That'd be
and
cool.
I know we always like to hear new people
Yeah, that's
what
awesome.
they're doing.
Let's do this.
Okay?
That'd be cool.
Bring him in?
All right, that's awesome. Let's go. We got. We always have our little interviews here, and today we're gonna have a brand new rider. So this will be fun.
He's not quite brand new.
Not brand new. Not brand new. That much brand new. Okay. 4,000 miles. Okay, Jeremy, what's up? My name's Josh. Everybody calls me Supremo, or as he says, I call myself Supremo, which is not true. But go ahead. So Jeremy, what brought you into the one wheel space?
So, rode skateboards most of my life, and then probably 5 years ago, somebody had a one wheel, and I'd never seen one before, and I was like, "Bro, can I ride it?" And he was nervous, he didn't want me to hurt myself. And when I got on it, it just felt like, I don't know, I can't explain it. You know the feeling. And I rode around, and it just felt awesome. I was like, I got to have one of these.
Yeah.
So I saved up, got an XR, and just loved it. And so just put about 4,000 miles on that board, mostly trail riding. I live up in Wake Forest, so I'm not close to all the group rides, so I ride a lot by myself.
Yeah.
But love trails, love the greenways, get out there a lot. And then I switched to a GT, a used GT, and been on that about 500 miles in on that one.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
the sport. Love the
Yeah,
sport.
it's fun, man. Yeah, and I'm sorry that Wake Forest. I get it. I'm in Pittsburgh, so that's why like it's hard for me to even come out. Like for me to come out all the way out here is
Yeah.
a trek. I get it. Yeah, and now luckily 540's starting to open up a little bit. Yeah, but it's good. So in now, and I guess in your perspective of this sport, right? And you in this 4,000 miles, which is a lot of miles. Where do you see the sport going in the next 5 years? And just kind of there you go, perfect.
Yeah, the sport, I see the growth in some of the parts that they're adding, like even just some of the stuff Future Motion has put with the I forget what they're called. They just released them where they're interchangeable to hold your feet onto the board.
Yeah,
lock your feet
footholds,
in.
Future Motion, dropping footholds. Yeah, it's crazy.
So stuff like that is going to help advance the sport into
Yeah.
Greater jumps, greater greater trick riding, and so but it makes it a lot more. It's already an aggressive sport.
Yeah.
But those types of things will help you. It's going to just escalate how.
Did you follow this year's ORL like race like?
A
Racing?
little bit. I don't know the names or the people, but I
Right.
certainly would see some of the clips and just
Yeah.
kind of be jealous that I wasn't out there doing it. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
But were you seeing though that like footholds was like really a lot of the conversation this year is that like, hey, we're kind of maxing the capabilities without footholds.
Yeah.
We're seeing the top riders in the sport
Yep.
being just dominated because they don't have footholds.
Yep.
And then now with now being the team being able now to be able to hold on to that board, it's going to really change it up next year. I'm very excited to see that.
Well, and I think like what's that going to allow them to do to expand into other avenues? Like, does it bring back the half pipe or the skate parks kind of
Right.
stuff? Because you can lock in and do some stuff that you
Yeah.
weren't able to without it. So that's,
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how well it will handle in terms of the lifting. I think it's going to be very good at like holding on to the board in terms of for like, again, for trail riding, which is my favorite part of the flight fins, right? Is that you can lock in, you can hold on, you can do these you can kind of jump over these the little roots and stuff. You really can hold on, right?
Yeah.
But with my fear with I think it's called what's it term? You know this the FTS, the new FSTs. See, that's field sobriety tests in another world. So we need to. They might want to. We maybe we figure out another acronym for those. But either way, the FSTs, they are. I want to see how well they do in terms of lifting. But again, like we were seeing people like Andrew Williams and other people who were jumping, just flying with flight fins, just what you could do with being able to lock in and hold on to that board. So it's gonna be really exciting to see now with the Future Motion team what they can do now with that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'd like to try it. It scares me a little bit because I think I'll just be a little more aggressive than I want to be.
Yeah.
It may come with a little pain that I'm not sure I want to go through.
It's dude. I actually, again, I've only especially on this is our 6th episode of doing this, and I think the last 2 episodes I was injured because of being hurt at Stoked, but that wasn't on the one wheel. It was on the one wheel, but it wasn't because of the one wheel. It's because I was doing stupid stuff on the one wheel. And but to be fair though, flight fins have actually saved me way more.
Really?
Oh yeah, because you are locked in. So when your board dumps and you think like, oh, I won't be able to hold on to this, you can kind of hold on the board and it'll regain. Like a lot of times it feels like it's dumping and you would panic and you would maybe run it off or try to run it off and then now you dump it. Whereas if you can kind of hold on, you still be able to kind of ride through that.
Yeah.
And it just really does. It changes your whole kind of riding, and it's a lot of fun. And so that's where I'm excited to see what these FSTs do. But flight fins, I've been a flight fin rider since pretty much day one. So I've been a huge promoter of that. So I'm excited to see what these do. Yeah. So again, what would you then now say? You have a GT now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna now change over to the new rails that they got?
You know, I don't think I will. I haven't tried them, so that's an unfair answer, perhaps. But I am going to continue. Like the GT has my attention versus the GTS just because of the range.
Yeah.
And I'll ride to work sometimes,
Right.
and it's a 20-mile ride.
Right.
So getting there and back, and you know, GTS scares me a little bit with battery range.
That's exactly how I feel too. The range on that, like with Terminator, I've been watching him with his TTS, like we've been on rides, and he's like at like a fraction of whatever. Also, and I'm just like, but he still kept up with that Durham ride we did the other day. I thought that there's no way he was keeping up, but he kept up. So it does have a lot of power, but again, I hear you. The range anxiety is just it totally gets me. And even still, my GT is a first generation GT. But it does, like, it'll just drop from, like, if you're at 10%, that 10% window right there it can go from 10 to 1 in a second. And and so that's where I've seen with the GTS, it's definitely fixed that little problem. But
yeah, mine was doing great. It's the board itself is about 4 years old, or I'm sorry, 2.5 years old. I bought it used, so I'm not the original owner, but it still went 22 miles distance.
Okay.
And had 17% battery when I got home. So those batteries are awesome.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're great now that they're again, when you don't maybe probably abuse them as much as I do, but they definitely get used. Yeah. But again, so now where you ride in Wake Forest, outside of Wake Forest, have you found a favorite place to ride?
Yes, where I live, there's a permanently closed golf course.
Okay.
And so literally my backyard is one of the former holes.
Nice.
So there's the golf path that from my backyard, and I can cut through. The main majority of the golf course is closed down.
Okay.
And this is on Capitol Boulevard, just like as far north as you can get in Wake Forest before you hit the next county. But right there, there's trails. It's all overgrown, but there's one of the neighbors who gets in there with the machine that cuts it down for mountain bikes for his kids.
Okay.
But I'm on my one wheel and just getting to
so this
take
is just, I mean,
advantage of it.
it's completely like ignored golf course. Wow.
It's been sold and transferred hands a couple times.
Yeah.
But they haven't developed it yet. So for the meantime, the last 5 years, I've just been tearing up, and there's hidden trails inside and everything. It's a blast.
That's so cool.
It's one of the best rides around for just, again, think of it like mountain bike trails.
Right.
But that's where I, kind of cut my teeth on the XR with a slick tire, going through trails. And then I didn't realize how much that was improving my skills. By the time I got a treaded tire, it changed the game for me. Like hills that I could take on the slick barely, And when I put that treaded on, man, I could just climb hills a little better. And then when I switched to the GT, that was another game changer there. But
now with that new GT update, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It has been so amazing going up hills. Yeah. It is just so much better. Yeah. So that we when you were talking about this golf course, I was thinking about we back in the Oak City early days, like COVID time, we went to this golf course that was, converted into like a park.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. Do you remember where that was? Hilltop Needlemore. That was right. It was so much fun. That was it was just so fun. It was just so flowy. And again, it's amazing little spot, but that's not at all where you're talking about. And so this is exciting. We got to go and check this out.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun. We got to definitely.
It's definitely a worthy ride.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You said so. It's just North Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost up into Youngsville. So it's
okay. Definitely, it's a clip.
A little bit of it, It's not the easiest part of town to get to. At the same time, for me, it's home. So
there you go.
It's my backyard in a sense.
Yeah, and you came out here tonight because what was going on again?
Yeah, so my GT had a little issue. I took a nosedive about 5 weeks ago, so I have a sprained wrist right now and some road rash I'm dealing with. But when I got up off the nosedive, the board had powered off. But since then I've had the board back on. I haven't been able to reenact it, but I've just seen other horror stories of other GTs where they powered off. So I brought it tonight in hopes to just kind of see if we can open it up and see if there's anything obvious that's wrong with it.
Right.
I don't tinker around too much with, the parts, so I'm glad to be in a circle of people that do.
That do it a lot.
So, so they just had it open within a few minutes, and I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. So, they're just kind of diagnosing it and seeing if they can help a brother out. So that was my main drive to come tonight.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. And then, so you're this isn't a lady, so I can ask you this. So you're an older man. You're more probably a little more older than myself.
49,
There you go. And so you, this is definitely a toy,
Yeah.
right? And so when we ride around, a lot of times we feel a little times like we're these like young kids that are just stupid and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
what do you have a feeling? Do you have a thing that's drawing you to this? Is there something that you feel that outside of the skateboarding and all that drive? Do you
Yeah.
think there's something different about this?
Absolutely. I think, well, one, when I first got my XR, I was pushing the board way too hard, and I did get injured a few weeks in of just being a new rider. That humbled me because I was like, I don't want to do that again. But what I realized is life is hard, jobs are stressful, and when I can come home and just like decompress and just ride that board for an hour or whatever, to me, it's just personally, it's my release. You know, some people go boxing, some people do whatever they do, right? So for me, that's been a huge outlet of just a daily. I just want to get out and move and just not think about work, not think about stuff.
Think about what's right in front of you.
Yeah, and my wife knows. She's like, "Oh, he's on his board. I'm just gonna leave him alone for a second." You know,
Yeah.
she knows like the look on my face where I
And
really
here in
need
North
it right
Carolina,
now.
and here in North Carolina, like that like sunset time frame is just like the weather's perfect. It's not too hot. It's that perfect. You just can ride around. You're
Well,
enjoying
even
that.
then, like year round, man, I don't care if it's January and it's 30 degrees out. I'm wrapped up. I'm out there, and you know, I'm still putting miles on just because it's the release that I need. And the weather, other than rain, you know, or rain or snow, but I'm just that's my release, and it just feels so awesome.
You got in a heated vest yet?
I don't have the heated
Oh,
vest,
dude, the heated vest.
but I did get the MTEs 2s, the vans.
Yes. Oh, dude,
Those keep my feet warm.
are already those are my favorite shoes. I am actually shocked. You know, I'm not wearing them right now. So the heated vest when oh my gosh.
All right.
The heated vest, and then you get the heated socks, and then you go all the way to the thing, and it's just it's a whole nother level. And then now you just keep riding, and then the whole thing that's the whole joke that we've been doing with whole our theming and stuff is onesies.
Oh yeah.
So you
I've
put a
seen guys in
onesie,
some stuff.
on, and then now you're toasty warm, and you're like, oh, okay. So
I
this is
haven't been
great.
able to swallow that pill yet for some
Yeah,
reason.
it's
But
fun.
maybe this is the year.
There you go. That'd be fun. You should come out to a slow roll. It'll be a good time, especially when it gets cold. Again, we throw the onesies on. In the summertime, we try to mitigate the amount of costumes because it just gets way too toasty.
Yeah.
But the wintertime is perfect, especially these the parades. You got to join us. The Raleigh Parade. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, so much fun.
Yeah.
We have that is just an incredible time. We're actually one of the few people, the few groups that are allowed to bring devices that we're not walking during the parade.
Yep.
And so we are just very thankful for being able to be with that kind of trust for us. But it's fun. So we go out there and we're riding with and high-fiving the kids and stuff, and then doing the whole thing, and it's just from costumes that go from the Grinch all the way to Steezus, and it's a good time. Yeah, so you definitely want to come out again. We'd love to have you again. The second Sunday slow roll. That's every second Sunday of every month. We meet at either RBC or now we're also doing like a fun potluck at Dick's Park. But again, we'd love to have you out and do more of these things.
Let's do it.
And again, so what was your name again?
Jeremy Porras.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Porras. And you can do you have like an Instagram? Do you have anything like that?
I do Jeremy Porras on Insta or on Facebook, so either one.
Awesome. We're excited to see you. We're excited to see you when we're out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks
All
for
right.
having
Awesome.
me.
We're going to throw downstairs and see what everybody's doing down there. All right. I think we've been friends on Facebook for
Yeah, well, I've been to a slow roll, and you gave me a bunch of gel blasters for the.
Okay.
I run addiction recovery houses.
Okay, that's right, that's right, that's right.
I gave them out to the guys, and they loved it. So yeah, so stuff like that.
That's fun.
I think I've only done two rides with the group in 5 years or whatever it's been.
All right, we're gonna do a little thing different here. We're gonna actually now have tire time.
With Terminator.
Terminator. All right, so Terminator's gonna talk about some of his favorite tires that he's done, because I think we talked about this today. Is how many tires have you had?
Oh my god, dude. Thinking like, I'm thinking at least 30. I've gone through probably 22,000 miles. Not all of them have gotten 1,000 miles out of them. Some have gotten torn up before that. So, yeah, probably about 30 or so tires, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty
so I'm
wild.
gonna let you talk to the crew of everybody else that's watching this. Tens of thousands of people that are watching
Yeah,
right
I
now.
heard there was a lot of people watching.
Tens of thousands,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, actually, what's funny is that's the last video that you made has now had tens of thousands of views. So I'm very
What
excited.
video is that?
Well, you filmed it, but either
Oh,
way,
yeah, all right. That's fair.
we filmed it.
Okay.
So, but it has tens of thousands of videos,
Background services.
multiple thousands of views going up, and it keeps
Nobody
going up
knows
from
that.
now.
That's background information.
You still filmed it, so either way, it's still congratulations on that. But
Thanks.
either way, so the 10,000 that could become the next one.
Yeah.
That's 10,000 views.
But I'm not filming this.
Well, you're in it now.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you
So
want
you
to
talk
see
to
now?
those 10,000 people, and then we'll go from there.
Notice I wasn't in that last one. All right, so we're just talking about tires, I guess. Shoot, the one I just put on tonight was the 555 Burris. I'm pretty excited about it. It felt pretty soft. Compound felt super squishy. I'm pretty excited to see how it handles in the trails. I was coming off of a 655 Enduro soft, and I felt like it was a little slidey in the trails. Like it would slip a little bit and not really have the full amount of traction that I would really hope for coming around hot corners like that, and like full speed, high speed turns, corners. You're dipping into the corner and it just kind of skirts out on you a little bit. It's like, that's really sketch. So I'm super excited to see how the Burris handles. I had the Burris big tire on the float wheel for a little while. That was pretty gnarly. Super stable. But then again, with the stability, you're hitting, a wider contact patch, so you're catching more bumps on the edges and things like that. So kind of getting tossed around a little bit. Also, the float wheel was a lot heavier, so it's harder to kind of maneuver, especially with that wider tire. So I ordered the Trail Pro 2 for the float wheel when I finally get a new battery pack in it, because my float wheel died. What you got? Switching it up. I don't know. What do you do? So the Trail Pro 2 came out today from Float Life. I'm pretty excited about that. That's a 6-inch tire as a replacement, I guess, for the original Trail Pro. That was everybody's favorite tire for the longest time on the XR, because, back in the day, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, there wasn't that many tire options, right? 6-inch was the only thing. There was no such thing as a 6.5-inch. There was no such thing as a 5-inch. So that Trail Pro was the go-to for a lot of people. I'm excited to see what they did with this Trail Pro 2. Should be super grippy. I'm imagining it's going to be stable but still nimble. Carvey, I imagine that, knowing Jeff, it's going to have super great bonkability. That thing is probably just going to bounce all over the place off of everything with a little higher PSI. So I wish I had a little feedback from questions or something. What's up? Who's watching this? You said 10,000 people. So Brian Chadwick said he's watching. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Bart, what's up, brother? And then what's that other tire? The big tire Burris came out for the 6.5-inch rim as well. I think Craft and Ride is hosting that one. Then they have One Wheel Parts has the 6-inch version. I'm not sure. There's so many different Burris tires coming out nowadays for the 5-inch, for the 6-inch. It's pretty cool to see all the different options that people are running. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys are running on your boards. What boards you have, what tire you're running, what PSI you like. Because I mean, PSI is a whole different story. I started playing with that recently. Like I never really got into changing it very much when I would ride. I'd just kind of leave it at 17, 18 because I was 175 pounds. So I figure that's a good PSI for me, right? So I ran 17 and a half PSI on my tire for, I don't know, like 18, 19,000 miles, just because I was told 10 PSI for every, or 1 PSI for every 10 pounds of body weight. So that's what I ran. Now I'm getting into the like lower PSI. I'm dropping it down to like 10, 11, even like 9 sometimes on some of these 5-inch tires. Getting really low and squishy. Sometimes I really don't like it that low because it takes away from the responsiveness. What's up, Neil? How you doing, man? Yeah, the battery life. That's the other reason I would kind of leave it pumped up a little better too. Thank you, Eli. But the range kind of suffers quite a bit when you start dropping that low PSI, right? So with the GTS, I mean the range is already kind of right. So you don't want to. Neil's on the enduro. What do you got, Neil? The 655, the 555. Which enduro do you got? And then the high PSI. I noticed like if you're trying to do like tricks and like 180s and bonks and things like that, I noticed high PSI is actually a little better. But then like slides and stuff, higher PSI. But then if you want to get like ground tricks, like I don't know, kick pushes and varials and things like that, probably lower PSI, right? Neil's on a 6-inch Superflux too, high torque, I imagine. I don't know. What do you think about the Enduro? The soft version to me wasn't really even that soft compared to these Burris tires. I feel like these Burris or tires just like they feel like dense foam almost. Like they're just so spongy and like grippy. The Enduro was a little tough, a little stiff, I guess you could say, to the touch. So I don't know. We'll see how this. I'm excited to see this Burris. I wish I brought the board up. I'll show it to you guys because it's gnarly. MK1 build. Nice. Oh, okay. So you got the V1 Superflux. Yeah, that I heard that's the good one. That's the what? No, you don't have to grab it. No, thank you. Yeah, the mid compound because it lasts longer, or because of the way that it rides. Because I mean, if you like the mid compound, I feel like for performance wise, everybody always talks about soft compound. So it's interesting to hear somebody say, you know, especially a good rider like you, Neil, like it's like mid compound is preferred because I haven't heard that before from a racer. Soft doesn't last. I know. You go through tire changes quick. It's like once a month I'm changing tires. It seems like it's crazy. So that's what I mean. It's that's why they were asking me, you know, how many tires I've been through. Because it's like every time they see me come over to these things, I'm changing a tire. It's like, no, I like the soft though because I'd rather pay a little more, a little extra, spend a little extra time changing tires every once in a while than suffering performance on the trail, you know, because I'm trying to get that last 4 seconds on Christopher Melty. He's got me. Melty's got me by 4 seconds on the Centennial trails that Evan took you guys to at Shredfest. Doing a lot of street rides, I would understand. Yeah, the mid compound makes sense. Commuting, work, greenways, bike paths, things like that. Yeah, definitely the mid compound. I would probably go for that too. That's a good call. Chadwick's got a little bit of everything. He said the XR. What's that mean? You got a little bit of everything, Brian? What you talking about? And then what was I talking about before? Before Neil commented, he was talking about the street ride. Shit, these guys got me tired, man. But tricks, slick tires, definitely. You want to be able to slide around. I think a wider tire for tricks is probably better for stability wise. Even doing 180s and stuff. Uh, I feel like the stability from a wider tire, a little bit lower PSI, you can jump off the board, you can jump back on the board, but still like absorb bumps. Bonkability doesn't suffer too much at like a medium PSI because you still kind of bounce a little bit, but it's not like super rock solid where it's just rattling you all over the place. I don't know. Christensen kind of put me on the spot here. Supremo does this to me sometimes. He's like, puts me on camera. He's like, just talk, So, like, I'm not as good as he is at this stuff. But, let's see. What else? The Hoosier T2. That was my first tire change. That was like, that tire lasted me probably 1,400 miles because I refused to change that tire again because it was so hard. I had such a tough time with it. It was like, I spent probably 3 hours in my garage watching that Jeff McCosker video from Float Life. You remember that one from like 2019? Like the original one before he redid it and came out with the shorter version. So I was like rewinding it and starting it over again, like going back and watching every 10 seconds and rewinding it and like, oh, let me unscrew this screw that he does and then play the video again. And it just took me so long to do it. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. There's no way. So that tire went bald. And when I mean that T2 looked like a slick, like you couldn't tell it was a treaded tire anymore. It was bald. I ran that tire down. And then finally Joe Rana, he helped me change that next tire, and I put another T2 on it because I was like, well, it lasted me 1,400 miles. The Vega only lasted me 1,000, so I put another T2 on, flight fins. That was the best tire at the time, I feel like. Nimble, carvy, longevity was good, stability was still there. It wasn't like, too nimble or, you'd lose it. Oh, look who just showed up. John Stock's here. Mob Shop, shout out. John just moved into town a couple weeks ago. Getting settled in, finding a place, enjoying the community, welcoming him with open arms. He's a pretty awesome dude. But yeah, so let's see. It seems like every 1,000 miles I go through a tire, but sometimes it's more than that. I don't know. What kind of mileage do you guys get out of tires? Like, thinking like same thing, 1,000, 1,500. Anybody get more than that? More than 1,500 miles out of a aftermarket tire? Like, so I think John Brown's coming to relieve me right now. See what he's got. Eli, who's coming up here? Yeah. So, all right. Well, it was good hanging out with you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully, I'm going to see you at Float Life Fest. I think will be the next thing that everybody's going to. So, hell yeah. I'm going to race some amateur class, I think, again, because I had fun doing that at Wheel Scorcher. That was a good time. It was like my third time, I think, wearing a time chip. Came in 4th place in amateurs. I was pretty happy with that. At the time, I wasn't, because I was like, damn, I fell 5 times, and there was 3 enduros. Then I was like, so I learned a lot about racing. Slow down just a little bit. Like I tell Jason Baker all the time, medium fast. Neil's got 1,500 miles on his tire. Still got plenty of life in it. So, yeah, man, 1,500. Looking at like 2,500 miles probably out of that tire then. It's pretty wild. But yeah, medium fast, man. When you're racing, you don't need to go like time trial racing. It's hard because you're thinking about, oh, I gotta push. But then you don't realize how fast you're going and where's the speed coming from. This is not how you practice. Why are you pushing this hard? Race how you practice. Practice how you race. That's what I learned. It's pretty cool to learn that. Had a good time. Let's see. Shout out Justin Thompson putting that event together. That was a really good time, man. That was my first time going to Wheel Scorcher. I was always a little nervous going to those trails. I'd been kind of, to be honest, I was a little scared. And shout out Taylor Dar, because Taylor came in first in the time trials. And, man, he beat me by 37 seconds. And I was, like, looking at that 37 seconds comparing to that 5 falls that I had. And I was like, okay. I was like, let me slow down just a little bit next time. So I can't wait to see you again, Taylor. I hope you're at Float Life Fest, man. I'm coming for you. But let me see if I can get some relief up here, because I'm running out of things to talk about. And I want to see what's going on downstairs, because these guys look like they're having fun. So give me a second. Hold on. Yeah. So, how many people have been to Float Life Fest before? I mean, I imagine Niels, you're going, right? So, wow, bunch of yelling. Who's going to Float Life Fest? John, you going to Float Life Fest this year?
I am not going to Float Life Fest this year.
That's not the answer that I was looking to hear.
Dude, I am not. But we are here to take you off of
Oh, beautiful.
Tires,
Thank you, because I ran out of shit to talk about a long time ago.
I am so amazed. This man has stood here, barrel-chested, being all swole. Look at this chat going wild. Neil, oh man.
Me and Neil have been chatting it up.
Woo,
Yeah,
that's good.
Neil's running a mid enduro with 1,500 miles on it. He's got plenty of life in it left. And like,
what?
Yeah, 1,500 miles. He got plenty of life. I'm like, what?
How much, Neil? Do you?
But he does all the street riding, right, for like commuting. And like, I don't know.
Somebody muted my mic. I've been sitting here talking to nothing. This is crazy. So Neil, like, making all that life out of it. But hey, Term, love it. Thank you so much for everything you were just chatting about.
You gotta teach me how to do all this stuff, so next time I can shut myself off.
So you can push a button. So see this button right here? Watch this. So you push a button, boom, boom. So now they can only hear me. This is great. And then, boom, now they can hear you.
Beautiful.
See?
And this adjusts the volume.
And then adjust the volume a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Whoa. Oh my God, we have introduced
Awesome.
buttons
Thanks, guys.
to him.
See you
All right,
later.
Term, thank you so much. Love you long time, brother.
Terms Tire Corner, baby.
Dude, Terms Tire Corner. Was that what we were calling this? Okay, cool. So, all right, guys, we're going to have a little bit. Is he really this tall? That doesn't even make sense. All right, cool. We're gonna bring that down and out of the way. Feel a little bit bad about myself. So we are gonna have an intermission. All right, 1,500 miles. Yeah, jeez. So 1,500 miles on that tire is silly. We are about to have an intermission. We're gonna bust on a YouTube video because we have Mr. Crazy Computer Man Alex over here is gonna do some computer things, and then we're gonna fire up the 3D printer to make a bearing press. So, in order to not sit here and watch Mr. Angry Alex's face while he does his computer things, okay? It's like that 90s computer video where it's just like, enhance. Oh, fuck, there it is. That's all he does. So
We're also going to have one final interview tonight before this live stream ends. And it's going to be a nice, fun interview with a local celebrity.
New local. He's the newest squirrel to Oak City, as I understand it.
I think that's a good way of putting it. So we're gonna have him on here very shortly. It's gonna be a very exciting night. So again, stick with us through this little intermission. All right.
Alrighty. So we're gonna be busting this guy over here. Oh man, I don't even know where it needs to go. Let's see if this is gonna work. Here's me not knowing what I'm doing. Boom, we're gonna watch some Oak City Shred Fest. This is only 3 minutes. That's not what I wanted, actually.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Ah.
fast, Connor. You got that. Come on, Connor. You're good. Go, Connor. Go, Connor. Go, baby. Come on, Connor. Let's go, Connor.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Think of it.
The future of your business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI capabilities for more customization, more time, and more growth. Speed up your website copy with an AI text generator that delivers a consistent brand voice to every corner of your site. Unlimited unique visuals enhance every piece.
Whoa, what is this? Oh. Whoa. All right. Looks good. Get the peanut chicken, solar chicken. It's good.
Look at you broke wristing doing that crazy shit.
Look at this spot.
Why?
This swimming hole right off the greenway. So you just ride for miles and then you can just go in here and jump in.
You can camp,
Yo!
eat, swim.
You could. Dude, you could probably I want to get a video of this.
Rick, we're so glad you're here. Thanks, my friend. What the gloves? The gloves and the t-shirt, a little kinky, but we're gonna go with it. A little kinky. Let's give us a minute as our judges defer. We've got some values.
Let's see that juggle, man. Oh. Wow.
You don't get a festival.
Yeah.
That's why you're trying to take them out.
They're stopped.
Oh, thread the needle, Dick. Hello. Yeah, with the busted foot. Oh, yeah. Right there. See him?
You're gonna get him?
Yes. All right, here we go. Whoa, that was actually really close. Okay.
Did I get him?
There's no way.
It's stuck in.
Dude, it kind of torpedoed to him.
That's hard as fuck.
Bro, man. Oh.
Okay, just.
Oh my god. Of course he can do this.
Of course he can. That's why he's such a badass
What a
on a
legend.
unicycle.
He doesn't know the fundamentals came from on it. But
You're right.
Yeah, cooler.
Found
Yeah, cooler.
what I found.
He found it.
You got a longer inseam than I do, sir.
The barefoot.
Justin Leonard with Oak City here. Man, Oak City Shred Fest, as you can see, this year is bigger and better than ever. It's a huge collective effort, and I think that's really what sets Oak City Shred Fest apart. Is it's just a bunch of group of enthusiasts just putting it all out there. Everyone has their own contribution, and it's just a beautiful thing to see it all come together. So if you haven't made it out, come out next year. It's a freaking awesome time, and love you guys.
I know you like the way I pop out. Let's go hit Lennox. Another week, another knockout. A different city. My partner whip a 7-4 now. He think he win me, but I'ma ride this shit madly until it's empty. And Pastor don't take dirty money. I like it filthy. She my Achilles. I'm out for millions, not just for memories. Been on a mission, did I mention it before? I can't be sleeping till I'm reaping what I sow. I know you like the way I pop out. Let's go hit Lennox. Another week.
Flying down the Greenway Pass, feeling free.
sunshine smiles, our joys the ride. Friends together, side by side, laughs and cheers, a bonded tribe. Through the trees and open fields, every turn our joy reveals. Steadfast memories, race and ride with ease. Best times ever known, on this track we call home. Hands reach out in high fives, beats in sync, our hearts alive. Mornings glow and evenings breeze, moments like these never freeze. Flow track beneath our feet, victory in every beat. Feel the thrill with every swing. Oak City makes us kings and queens. Steadfast memories, race and ride with ease. Best times ever known, on this track we call home. Steadfast memories, race and ride with ease. Best times ever known, on this track we call home. Hands reach out in high fives, beats in sync, our hearts alive. Mornings glow and evenings breeze, moments like these never freeze. Never freeze. Flow track beneath our feet, victory in every beat. Feel the thrill with every swing. Oak City makes us kings and queens. Steadfast memories, race and ride with ease. Best times ever known, on this track we call home. Campsites go with friendly fire, sharing stories, dreams dissolve. In this place we find our peace, moments here our joys release. Oak City, family true, every race and every view. Steadfast spirit never gone, in our hearts it carries on. Steadfast memories, race and ride with ease. Best times ever known, on this track we call home.
At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. They put their names on arenas, we put ours on my lower back.
And that's it, man. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking that time to watch those YouTube videos while we worked on some stuff in the background here, which was trying to get some 3D printed stuff going on. There's a whole thing we can explain. But you see that we have a whole new guest. Who is this guest? This is not even just a guest. This is our new local squirrel. This is a new member of Oak City.
Jonathan. We'll see.
Yeah, just another Jonathan that we have. So we have, again, we got to figure out a nickname because we're gonna have just as many Joshes we have Jonathans now.
Yeah, I think it's unfair that you got to stand on the tall side of the stage, but it's okay.
I know. I said that. I was like, we gotta bring that. We can bring it down. There we go. There you go. All right. Well, this is. It doesn't. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work any other way, without it. Unless I sit down.
I figured you'd do a camera trick or something to make us at least look like the same height. It's kind of offensive.
I'm sorry, brother. You know, it's something that when I look in the mirror, I do think that I'm your height. I gotta let you know.
Well, I think I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference between this and this.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see any difference either. When I look in the mirror, that's what I see. I see
I
just.
don't see in height.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
I don't see in height and weight.
Yeah, exactly. When I look in the mirror, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We all look the same height.
Yeah. No, I do though. Really, for real, I do. I cannot see the fact that I am as tall as I am, and even my wife is 5'2", so I'm with her all the time, and it still doesn't even like come into my head.
Okay, so I have this theory, right? You're a tall person.
Mm-hmm.
You need this short person around to get all of the things that you don't want to hurt your back getting, and vice versa. She needs you to get all the things that she could never reach, and storage that she could never utilize.
No, I totally agree. I get to use the entirety of the top of the fridge and the little storage thing on top of the fridge, all mine. Do whatever I want, put anything I want up there. She will never go up there, never see it. She's not getting a ladder to go up there. That's not happening. So I have the entire area, and I can just access it with ease. So yes, no, I totally agree. But then also at the same time, I say this. There was actually a joke that I said a long time ago. Was I have to plan ahead when I go to the grocery store, because I'm gonna have to spend a little extra time there because I have to help the little old ladies get the things off the top shelf. This happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Well, me too, but I just climb the shelves.
And I saw a lady the other day that was tremendously. I mean, she was arguably his height, and she was going to the grocery store, and I was like, wow.
Arguably my height.
No, he's. What I'm saying is, I think that she was probably a little shorter than him, and he was to go to the store, and I was like, wow, expect her to almost like, no offense, I would expect to see her carrying around like a like something to help her get to the things. So she literally got to a point, she looked at it and just went. She was like, I'm done.
A large stick for her to knock things down.
Well, she just literally just looked at this thing, and she just was like, never mind. And I was like, ma'am, do you need me to get? And she was like, yes, please. And I was like, it's no problem. Like, I'll get it. And I got it. I was like, do you need another one? She was like, yes, it's on sale. I would love to get two. And I was like, okay, yes, I'll get you two. It's not a big deal. And but you could just see the disappointment in her face when I watched it. So I get it. We're talking about height for now this whole time. So everybody that's watching is just so excited.
But wouldn't it be more offensive if you lifted her up so she could get it herself?
Right, that would have been highly offensive. That would have been, just been like, and I was I was just like Simba on it. Yeah. Anyways, let me talk about height. I mean, but you have this benefit that you just, as this is the same thing that he has. I mean, this is the fact that you get to use these boards to their maximum capabilities.
I'm not that light.
Yeah, I mean, still. You're still not that. I mean,
160, you're still at that point where I can dig the board pretty easily, but I do get a lot of power. Those guys that are 100, 120, it's a way different thing. And so I feel like there should almost be 3 weight categories where if you're going to do a Clydesdales against people that are, average weight 180 pounds, then you got to do something for those, 160, 180 pound guys to the 100, 120 pound guys.
Right.
Anyways.
I hear you. I mean, we could definitely, we were looking at that it was a weight thing a long time ago when we were going to do again, second year when we were going from Shredfest 1 to Shredfest 2, we were going to go genderless. We were going to just say no male, no female, because it shouldn't matter, right? And then that was going to be it. It was going to be very weight class based, and it just looked like it was just going to become such a thing. And what we saw last year. I mean, really, to be fair, what we saw even just let's bring it all up again, but we saw again with Clydesdales. Where we're Clydesdales, they weren't expecting to get weighed. A lot of people never had weighed in, and then it was just people who brought it up hey, maybe we should do weigh-ins, and then boom, we did weigh-ins, and then people got brought out of it. They weren't in it, and it's man, I mean, I get it. I get it. That's where somebody who does fluctuate in that, I can be 215, I can be 220, I can be 215. Did I eat a burrito yesterday? That could be kind of the depending this fact. I mean, did I get the milkshake with it? That's the distinguishing factor. And then if the next week I just don't, I'm not that weight anymore, right? And so I get it. I probably right now I'm a little more than 220, but so I'm a big guy right now. So but it's fun. So we're seeing that with this sport. If we did this whole weigh-ins, I think that we're gonna have to get into the UFC level weigh-ins and then just kind of decide what does that mean? Does that mean we're getting into are we getting into skivvies?
100 to 120 can be a weight category. And it's a lot more trophies. I understand it's way too complicated.
Right. That's the trophies thing. We have like 69 trophies like almost every year. It's
You know
getting
what I would
crazy.
like to see come back for trophies too, also on
Mhm.
more of like this ranting subjects. You remember the old All-Star trophies from like Little League baseball from way back in the day? It was just some crappy bronze guy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
standing there with like some like sheet metal loopy thing in the back that you could cut yourself on pretty easy.
Yeah.
We should go back to those kinds of
We could do that. Yeah, we could do that just for like the general trophies. Yeah, just for like some fun, like like the almost participation trophies. But we could do something. That's something we work on. That maybe what Oak City Mob Shop brings to Oak City Shred Fest.
Maybe we should talk about that.
We should talk about that. Yeah, because now with you being with Mob Shop being in Raleigh, like what should we expect?
So the last couple of days, I've been down at East Coast Electric Speed Shop.
East Coast Electric Speed Shop. What's up?
East Coast Electric Speed Shop. So that is Raleigh's only e-bike shop.
No, it's
a couple of them. But
there's a couple, but it's like the only like PEV shop.
That's true. They
Like
are
that's-
a one-wheel dealer too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but the owner down there, Jacob's cool.
Jacob's awesome.
Cool as heck.
Yeah. Veteran as well, American veteran.
Went down
How
there and
about
talked
that?
to him, a couple of days, and we decided to make things happen. We just kind of have some things that we can, some things we can mesh on. And so we're going to bring the shop down, and we got a room back there to do it in. And I'm hoping to do a little like loungy area for everybody. You know, the club kind of.
That space is awesome back there. That whole like left side, yeah.
Charging down there for everybody, and
Nice.
like tools, and like there'll be things. But we can also do work for people if that's what they so choose, also.
Cool.
But then I'll should be effectively managing the shop by the end of August.
Nice.
Down there, the speed shop.
Yeah.
So
Which one? And then Raleigh, right off of P Street, right?
Yeah, right off P Street. So I'm really hoping that we can start to put the East Coast Speed Shop into the community a little bit more, as well as the Mob Shop, and we can start sponsoring and pushing forward some great things.
Yeah.
I don't know what those things are.
Oh
yet.
no, we've got
Dubious
big things. We got
But,
big things, baby.
When you come down and you support the shops,
Yeah.
you're definitely supporting two business owners, and me and Jacob, that firmly believe in kind of the planting a flower, planting a seed, picking a flower kind of mentality, where you're not taking without putting something back that will regenerate the thing that you've taken. And so we both kind of feel that way. I think that might be the one thing that really connected us when we had the interview with each other was, hey, like I don't want to take anything. Like Jared kept trying to pay full price for a tire. And I'm not going to charge Jared full price for a
Right.
tire, man. Like, what does he think?
Yeah, mad scientist. What are you
Yeah,
talking
mad
about?
scientist.
Yeah.
So
What
like
are you talking
he
about?
kept saying like, oh yeah, I'll pay you whatever you want. I go, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Because you're you. And he kept arguing until the last day when I finally just got him to fold. Exactly. I don't. Anyways, but he took it. I want that to happen because you guys have been so nice to me, and in the past, and with everything that you do for everybody, people should be able to do nice things for you too in return. So I figure I got to do some nice things here before I feel real comfortable setting up a situation where I'm taking money from people for doing things which they want done, but still
Oh,
at the same
dude, they are
time,
begging for
I
it, bro.
feel
I'm
like
telling you.
there's more to it than just
Yeah.
this A to B transactional thing where
No, I love that. Yeah.
So anyways, that's on the horizon, and then I've got a little in-person course that I'm going to be doing soon called How to Own Your PEV.
Nice.
And that's just going to be taking a regular consumer through their own device, teaching them how to change their own tires, and then also telling them how much I would charge them to change their tires when they figure out they don't want to do it for themselves.
And that's just the reality, man. I mean, even I'm getting to that point. Like, I don't even want to do it anymore. Like, I know
But even if
totally
you
how
can
to do
do
it. Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do it because you want to just have fun, right?
Right. You just don't want to do it. And then you just reality, like, there's just so many other people out there that when we look at the tremendous amount of the audience, I think that there's a lot of, which we've talked about, there's a lot of people that call us because they get our number through the Shred Fest and all these other things that we do. And so then they reach out and they're like, hey, can you fix my board, whatever. And a lot of it is because it's like it's the mom, it's the grandma that bought their son, their grandson a board, and then it got like left in the garage, or it got left in the rain.
I get that a lot, and in Colorado, people got to know that was like, even if your board broke down, you knew someone else with a board, and they'd say like, "Oh, call John, call the mop shop."
Yeah.
So everybody there knew that they could ride however they wanted to because I would fix it. And I would like everybody here to feel the same way. Like there was a lot of people pushing boundaries, and the thing, I would be like that, that father with it. Like, you did this again. He's like, yeah, but you can fix it. It's like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I mean, speaking of you're fixing it, like you not only just fix it up. I mean, you arguably are one of the. I mean, it was between you and Bob Nicholson, right? That made the Stoke Life service, the Stoke Life service, right?
Right.
It was like one of the first.
We didn't make other shops. Other shops made themselves, but we definitely vetted the shops for excellence. We did, call interviews. We had to have like references from their customers, people that they serviced, just to get a clue as to what they were doing, and just tried to really standardize as much information as we possibly could. And happy to say that, yeah, Bob and I have been on the forefront of really kind of leading the charge of, hey, what's wrong with One Wheels? How do we all fix them?
Yeah.
So a lot of the ways that your local shop is fixing things were derivative of things that we've done in the past and things that happened during Stoke Life. So I'm especially proud of that time.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're both wearing the new jerseys for this year, but I mean, Oak City Shred Solutions was one of our first adventures, if you will, in terms of the totality of the club, and I think that it was really I loved what we were seeing, these little micro little repair shops kind of coming around that we were seeing around the country and the world, and it was awesome that you guys were like, hey, we are vetting them. We're making sure that these things are valid, and you should be able to trust them. So that was really cool.
Well, the one thing that I'll say about it is that it didn't end great, but I think a lot of people knew that.
Yeah.
Just like
I mean, everything like this. I mean, there's a lot of these things that end necessarily. I mean, Oak City Shred Solutions right now, obviously, everybody kind of knows this is not really a thing anymore. So like, a lot of these things have those ends.
Well, what I was gonna say is also. When we first started everything, there was like 3 or 4 main admins in the local mob group, and most of them wanted to do merch and other things like this with the logo name, and I wanted to do the shop. So really, the way the shop came about was no one else wanted to do it. I was the only one that wanted to do it, and then that wound up being the only thing that really happened out there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
The gear was awesome, dude. The community wasn't ready for it. There wasn't enough people yet to making T-shirts and hats and stuff like viable to a point where people would want to do it. Now I feel like it's just starting to get there now, even.
It's crazy for us too, because like as much as we wear the jerseys and we've now had multiple iterations of them and stuff, it is even also kind of unfathomable to me of how many of these things we've sold now. I mean, the hundreds. Now that we've sold of them, but then at the same time, that like the effort that you end up doing to put into it, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is just the return on investment, or even just in terms of like the sheer, even the effort you have to use for T-shirts is just so little, and it's just sometimes it's just it's a whole nother thing. So we try to find other people that will want to take on that thing.
Well, there's other forms of currency. Like I definitely think that like some kind of appreciation and understanding of what's happening behind the scenes is always a good thing to get back from the people around you, with that full understanding that you're breaking your back trying to make even just the littlest thing happen.
Right.
Because it's not like thousands of people are requesting things. It's like a couple dozens of people.
Right.
Making those things happen in small scales is a lot harder than trying to do it for lots and lots and lots of people.
No, I agree. I mean, again, everybody I think a lot of times thinks that Oak City is a little bigger than we are, and we are. Again, it's exciting. I think it'd be fun to get bigger and to do more things. I think that's what we're going to be doing together. And
well, how about this? This is the way I look at shops, right? And I like using Nitro Circus as an example because it's a show everybody has seen and can relate to. But think about how many bikes that dude goes through just trying to do one stunt.
Yeah. No.
So that show is basically predicated on, or the Hoonigans, right? All of those things are predicated on how well that their vehicles can stay maintained. So their lifestyle is predicated on a maintained vehicle.
Yeah.
And so I feel like ours is not excluded from this, and we need to maintain our vehicles so that we can all do the things that we want to do, so that people can go ride serious trails, but then we have maintenance done so that we're making sure that the insides are doing okay as well as
Right.
the outsides.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think a lot of times we have a surface view of what's okay and not okay with your one wheel, when a lot of the stuff's going on the inside.
Yeah.
And especially for the people who race all the time and are doing 25, 30 miles an hour down the side of a mountain and bailing, and their boards are rolling all over the place, they need it more than anyone else. Because they're also riding the hardest.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that people also like that's what we also see when you're looking on the Facebook groups, is you see the people that are arguably abusing their boards, and then the next week are like, hey, my board doesn't work. Just fuck this board. Like, I don't want this thing. And you're like, hey man, like, you got to also like treat them with a little bit of understanding that they're not completely submersible devices. You can't go take them out to the beach and run them through the water. And then the other one is that if you drop off of a 12-foot drop and land it, yeah, it might be a really cool clip for Instagram, but you're going to break your axle.
Maybe not
And then,
even a 12-foot cliff. Like, what kind of car do you drive?
Tesla, yeah.
So if we took your Tesla, you got a Target or something down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we'll take your Tesla down to the Target down the street, and then we'll spend the next 45 minutes running the front tires over the parking
Oh.
blocks of the thing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do stalls though, right? So it won't be that bad. But we'll just drive the car back and forth over the parking block for 45 minutes. Then we'll take it to your Tesla dealer and go, "Hey, my car's making funny noises and acting weird. I don't know why. I didn't do anything wrong." And then give him the runaround for 45 minutes until he says, "Oh yeah, I was just riding my car over the parking block for 45 minutes. Oh yeah, that's definitely what it's gonna be."
Yeah,
And
no, I mean
so-
that's exactly, but that's even in the Tesla world, right? Like, that's a great example, right? Is that we see that, like, you hear celebrities and stuff that'll be like, "Man, I gave up my Tesla because I got sick from the regenerative braking." I'm like, "Oh, because you're just ripping off of the accelerator instead of realizing that now it's a different way of driving, and so you need to like relax off the accelerator, and then it won't be so crazy, and so then you'll have like a nice regenerative braking." Where that is what the people do. They then accelerate rapidly, and then they burn through the tires super fast, and then they're complaining. They're like, "Oh, screw these electric vehicles! I'm burning through
Well, I'm
tires."
just saying, doing curb nudges and stuff. So
Right.
even the things that we do as a regular, and I do it, but I
No,
also
I agree.
understand what I'm doing. Like,
No, I agree.
It's as bad as running over a curb with your, maybe even worse, because you're intentionally bouncing the tire in the front end off.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
did that to a regular car, and that's a regular car,
Right.
it's gonna mess up the regular car.
No, I mean I even
shocked
said.
we've gotten away with what we've gotten away with.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, but that's why I say with the flight fins though. Like, so flight fins. That's why I like flight fins, or even now like in any lifters, is that you have the ability to jump over the curb, and now your tire lasts longer, your bumpers last longer, your front bumpers last longer, all these things. And I'm like, so these flight fins are saving you money because you're not doing all the damage.
I'm gonna say something really unpopular. We need potted controllers.
Okay.
And that totally kills our ability to fix the controllers. But if we had potted controllers, we wouldn't lose as many. You know, when they're encased in that like silicone stuff.
Right. No, I agree.
Anyways.
Yeah. And then if also they were more protected, because like when I had my with flight fins, because when you're jumping, especially at somebody of my weight, you're coming down on the front foot pad, and I was like crushing all the little pins on my controller, and so you're just like, you have to have. There's got to be a little bit more protection if we're going to be starting doing lifters.
You
and
know
stuff
what
like
the
that.
hard part about one wheeling is for me? It's like, it is such a delicate piece of electronics, really.
Yeah, right.
When you think about it. And I did, like, if you look at all my old social media, all I like to do is big jumps too. Like, it hurt me on the inside because I'd be like, "Yeah, I can't do this to this because I'm going to die if I, one
Right.
thing goes wrong." And like,
Yeah.
fixing too many of these things makes you paranoid that it's going to be you at the wrong time.
No, I agree.
And your board's going to cut out and you're like, "No." So it's like hard for me to let go anymore and not feel like I'm just wasting money, or I'll like do a drop and be like, "Oh, there goes $300,
Yeah.
It's tough for me anymore.
No, that's why I also don't do the big jumps anymore either, because again, that's the same thing. It's not even that; it's also the injury potential to you. Is that like, all right, now I'm out for now 3 months because I just jacked my board up or jacked my ankle up because I wanted to jump that log instead of just like picking my board up and going over it. And you're like, what was the point? And it's just, but again, this is it's the part of the sport. So what's the point is that it was for the gram. It was for the fun of like, hey, I got the fly fins because of that one to be fair, it really was because there was this one route that was on this trail by my old house, and I remember like being like, man, I just wish I could just like jump over it. And then I saw this video and I was like, I'm getting these flight fins. I'm gonna jump over this thing, and I worked on getting over it. And then I was like, all right, that's so cool. And then I was after that, I was like roots, this is nothing. And so I get that, like I get it, but it's all at the same time it's like the damage that we're doing to these things. We've got to figure out a way to also like reinforce them. And then, but then when you come in reinforcing, then it becomes weight. So now you're like this whole balance. You're playing this whole balance of like weight to reinforcement game. And for somebody my size, it's just like, all right, I'm just not gonna jump.
Yeah,
So,
see, that's where I don't care. I'll drop it off a
Right.
10-footer, and it's not really gonna do anything to the board.
right. So that's what I'm saying. This is where earlier how we started this off. That the benefit
But
for
again,
that,
like
right?
someone that weighs 50 pounds less than me is gonna do even less damage to the board.
Right. But it's still going to potentially, like, again, when we're talking about these, like, large drops, even in an 8-foot drop or a 6-foot drop or a 5-foot drop, and then you're going to then now break the axle because you did it 6 times in a row, and then now you're blaming the board because you're like, this is a faulty device. You're like, it's not the faulty device, man. Like, you just have to, you wouldn't be blaming the skateboard for you breaking the trucks on it, right? Like, you just wouldn't do it.
It sucks that this fun that I like having is so expensive.
It's so expensive.
That's really what I want to jump this board off stuff.
Right.
I think it's cool.
Right.
But I don't want to because then I'm going to owe a lot of money, and I don't think that that's cool either. And I think that owing a bunch of money is way less cool than, the 27 likes I'll get on Instagram for dropping off something pretty sweet.
Right.
Honestly, so I do it on my own. I do it less on camera, and I do it more, kind of just whatever.
Right. Because you can do it once on your own, and you have to do it 6 times to get it on camera.
Watch my disappointment and lack of engagement on social media. No,
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But really, it does kind of like when I used to go out and film to try to get likes, because I was trying to advertise my stuff too, and
that's what we're all doing.
It's hard to take in the lack of likes, and you puff yourself up, and you're like, if 34 people told you that you liked it, yeah, I'd be happy. So that's what you have to get yourself through.
Well, you have to also realize too is that our engagement in this community is a lot higher than we all think, right? So like I think that we are like, well, we're not seeing the high view counts, but the views to like and engagement counts are a lot. The ratio is so much better. It's so much better in this smaller community. And it doesn't feel that way because you're seeing like TikTok kids that are going in like the millions.
Bro, I don't know what kids want these days.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're not
My popular videos are the ones where I go like kick snow in slow motion at the camera, and people are like, oh.
But it's nailing with the audience that you're trying to nail with, right? Like it's hitting with the one wheelers and like enough where like I knew about you before I met you, and that was just through social media.
Yeah, but I hide too. I don't like letting people know who I am.
I get it. I mean, for a long time, I was the one behind the camera more than anything else, so I get it. Like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, I knew about you because you've done such a good job of like being this like persona of the mob shop and really like putting yourself out there and doing I would say you're doing a good job of like being this persona.
I appreciate it because I got really kind of about putting myself out there too. You ever get those times where you're like, you just kind of crumble? You don't even want to.
All the time, dude.
You don't like the sound of your own
I call
voice?
it the post-Shredfest depression. Yes.
Yeah. Well, imagine, like, I don't know. I'm just burnt out from doing the shop for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be all right for sure. This new thing, I'm really excited about.
I'm excited you're here too, man.
Down at the shop for like the last 4 days, kind of just hanging out and doing my thing and learning the lay of the land down there. But dude, we're gonna be able to do some.
We're gonna be doing some amazing things here, dude. This is the start of a whole new era that I'm so excited for. It's something that like we really were kind of hoping was gonna happen last year for a lot of those that have been following us for a long time. But now we're really excited that you're here. That's gonna help really drive this home this year.
I would say that Raleigh is definitely like a year-round one-wheel destination for anyone out there.
Anyone,
who wants to come out and experience a really together community, and there's plenty of things to offer. So people would come to Denver all the time and be like, what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? We didn't have a lot going on, so it was kind of disappointing for me to disappoint them.
Yeah.
Just tell them like, hey, nothing's going on, and I'm up to here with raising kids, and I'm no good. So they're
I
like,
get it, dude. I
now
fully
they're
get it.
here,
Yeah.
And like you guys are all here and you guys do this stuff. So I say everyone from elsewhere come here because I think there's something special going on here that they should experience. In that
Totally should. It's fun. It's fun, and it is. It's something to experience that like we can't articulate, right? Or when we do articulate it, or we try to articulate it, it seems like we're just trying to like show off. But it is. It's something that's so fun and that we have here, and I'm so excited for you to be here to experience it with us and to help us grow it and to make it even better. Because it's like it sounds like lines I'm just saying, but it's it's true. It's like we have such this like we're just sitting on this like powder keg here of like this area is exploding.
Well, you guys are doing baseball game next. Like we
Right.
get to go ride on a baseball field.
Yeah, Salamanders game on the 20th. This is gonna be nuts.
Super cool. My kids are like so excited about that stuff.
It's nuts. I mean, and they're like, we were like, all right, we're just gonna do 2. Like we just wanted to do 2 this year, and then next year we'll probably even do more, and then even potentially do it with like the Durham Bulls, which is even like another step level above
Dude,
that.
that's huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So like, but then again, you Falling for Local. Just wait till Falling for Local. Falling for Local is this huge event that happens in Dix Park. The entire park gets taken over. Like our Dave Wolf, who's our treasurer for the club, he even said it when he pulled up. He felt like he was going to like a Canes game, like during the like finals, right? Like it was that level amount of people going to this thing, and it was insane. And our line, was because we had 4 10 by 10 tents lined up. So that's 40 feet, right? So we knew, okay, we had a 40-foot long line of people all day long, the entire day long, just waiting to get in to do these, to get like a little bit of time to like one-wheel demos, and then they'd ride around on one wheels on this little like area that we like roped off. We were doing it all day long, and it was like everyone was like, "What are you guys doing this for?" It was just so fun to like connect people. It was just the people you would never have realized that you were connecting with. And then now we've grown our community even bigger just from that event. We've connected. That event has now brought us to even bigger events that have, brought us, because now we're using that as like, hey, this is what we do. This is what we can get you to. Now we're at the U.S. National Disc Golf Championship. So it's so fun. So I think that we're bringing you, it's going to be cool.
Too. Yeah, you guys just have a lot of good things coming up.
Yeah.
And just because anyone can join along, like I would just urge anyone along this like, D.C. to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area to join in.
Yeah, and I think that another thing that you got to help us join in on is, and this is another big announcement that we haven't talked about at all, is that we kind of dropped it a little bit on a post, but we are going to be having a new event in November, so that's going to be exciting to have you here for, and then you're going to help us make it even bigger and better, and so it's going to be another event that we're having. I think it's going to be the second weekend of November. It's basically Veterans Day weekend in November. And it's going to be a really cool thing we're taking out of Lakeside Retreats, because that's the other benefit that we have out here in Raleigh, is that we have that whole racetrack and all these trails that we built out there. So we have all this that's just sitting out there, just collecting dust. So we gotta do something about it, huh?
The float track?
Yeah, it's just sitting out there.
Well, the new houses we're looking at are like out by there. So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go there because
Yeah.
it's easy for me to take my kids there.
Yeah, dude, if you're on those houses over there, you'll be able to one wheel right there too, just directly right on. Because there's actually even like a little back, I'll show you. There's even a little back way you can one wheel almost directly right on the flow track.
I mean,
Really
it's
exciting.
The whole setup is
Yeah.
real sweet. There may be other places that have like, coming from Colorado, you definitely do not win in the cool trails directly outside my door department, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm excited that you're here, man. Colorado's dope. I've actually, as I say, Colorado's dope. I've never actually been to Colorado. I've met so many people from Colorado. I was from California, so I know the West Coast kind of vibe, but I've never been to Colorado other than the airport. But like, what would you in your first kind of like here? What's your culture shock so much so is now coming to the South?
Everybody's nicer here.
Okay.
I don't know. Colorado's like, people are nice, but it's different. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Probably the southern thing.
Yeah, the southern like the southern charm or the southern hospitality is real. It really is real, and it's like, and when it's I'm not saying it's even going away. I feel like it's pulling the people that are from California, even in the north, that are moving here, and they're starting to almost like be forced to adopt it. But it's great, and they're doing it. And we're not. I don't think that southern hospitality is leaving this area.
Well, that's what we like about this area. So it's a culture shock, but we like it. It's like a culture shock in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything really too bad that we can really account for. I mean, obviously the heat
Oh, dude.
is a thing, but it is what it is, dude. It comes and it goes, you know.
And it's just like we were talking about the cold earlier. Is that like you put the heated vest on for the cold? Just wait, you'll get those too because it gets cold. I mean, you're Colorado, you get it cold. This is gonna be nothing then. But for the heat, you just get the little neck fan. You know, little neck fan. It really does help. It makes that whole potluck we had the last weekend. I had a neck fan going on. It was great. It wasn't even that hot.
I was jealous of the neck fan.
It's great. It's
But
so
that was pretty
fantastic.
hot, and that is definitely why the wife and kids left early because
It's too hot.
They just don't want to be out there anymore.
No,
And I
it's too
understand.
hot. It's
I
too
totally
hot.
understand.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's too hot for me to like even want to go out one meal. But we were just talking about that too. Is that's the benefit of also the South out here? Is that like once it's like that sunset time frame, it's like me and Eli like we wait for that time. We like almost like set Alexa to remind us, and it's like get on our boards, you get the time, get your charge right, and then we go out and we ride. And then we live on a golf course, so we have the golf course closes. We go and we like get on the golf course path, just ride the golf course path, and it's amazing. It's just one of the amazing things.
Our youngest is just turning 1.
Yeah.
Like in a month, so we're gonna be able to get out more just because I've been stuck inside.
No, I get it.
Infant and 2 other kids.
No, I get it.
So, I don't know if anyone knows how tedious having 3 kids is, but it's
Yeah.
juggling.
Yeah, with 4, I mean, my 4 are at a very good age range, so I never experienced that what you're experiencing. But it is a
4?
Yeah, I have 4, but it's from my wife has 2, and then I have 2, so
That
it's
still counts. I told my wife I felt like 3 to 5 would be equal, so I tried to pull for 5, but she said absolutely not.
Yeah, my wife tried that too for a minute there, and then now I was realizing that's not gonna happen.
John, I tried John Stock 2, both spelled with the number 2. The number 2 spelled out as TWO or TOO, because I feel like it would be a more accurate description than Junior.
Yeah.
John Stock 2, TOO, is grammatically correct. I'm John Stock. He is John Stock 2.
2. He's John Stock 2.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
John Stock 2, The Revenge of John Stock.
Oh.
Like Jaws and The Revenge of
Yeah,
John.
if I had known that he was gonna turn out as much like me as I would have, that would have been him too. He would have been little like John. He'd been Josh 2.
Josh 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But like, you can't do Junior 2.
Yeah, Josh 2.
Yeah. See, he'd be okay with it now.
Yeah, now, he'd be okay with it now. Before he would, he'd have to want to be that way. Yeah.
You want to be that way now? Yeah,
No,
that's right.
that's what I mean. Yeah, there's no way. All right, then, John. So again, do you have anything else that you wanna say to the tens of thousands of viewers that we have?
Well, no, I don't think so. I just it's cool being here. I appreciate you guys, and I hope that the whole speed shop thing starts kicking up. We got to
Yes, I
talk.
will.
Definitely got to chat about what we were chatting about before, because now it just seems like, we
No,
can do
that's
what
gonna
we
be
gotta
great.
do, and I'm excited about those things coming to pass.
It'll be great,
because
man.
I think it'll be a big boost to the area.
Yeah.
And one thing for me too, being a newbie, is getting a map of like one-wheelable streets and areas. And
So that's
trails
cool you say that. You actually can go to www.floatlocator.com, thefloatlocator.com, and it actually will show you all of the spots that we've liked in the area, and it shows you the charging and all the other things.
see, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's thefloatlocator.com. That's D-Dom downstairs made the website, and then shout out to Shaman Gifford, aka Josh Gifford, that he helped make the float locator. So it hasn't been updated in a very long time, but it is there. It is currently up there, and it shows
That's
like
a good-
where a lot of
that's
things are.
really good
in
thing
Raleigh.
for someone that's new to the area
Yeah.
too. Is like, all right, here's where you can go in the area.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's pretty accurate. I mean, I think that D-Dom has control over it, so we could. I think he's probably keeping up with it. We'll ask him when we get off this call. I can hear him right now, but we'll. Hey D-Dom, have you been keeping up with the float locator?
Nothing's been added to it terribly recently.
Yeah, nothing's been added to it recently. Yeah, so we're doing something else that we can. Yeah, floatlocator.com. Make sure you check it out. Floatlocator.com. Floatlocator.com. All right. All right,
So what else
John.
goes on here tonight?
Well, tonight the rest of this will be just us hanging out and fixing up some boards and stuff, and just kind of doing the Oak City thing. There's who else? We'll throw it downstairs and show everybody else what we're doing. But again, John, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be so cool, man. I'm really, really, really stoked for you being here. Again, as somebody who is really a pioneer in this sport that you are, it really is an honor for you to come out here. And so I really want to tell you that it's just so exciting to have you here, and I'm just so cool. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. I'm going to throw it downstairs, and we're going to say good night, Oak City. Thank you so much, everybody. We are going to see you later. Good night.
Dad, you need to turn off this mic. You need to turn off this mic.